The lesson.
Oh yeah.
Now, when we were talking top, artists, one of the guys that you mentioned was Kerser.
Yeah.
And, when you're talking, I think you also mentioned the Hoods.
Yeah.
The one name that never got mentioned was Lyrical Commission or Trem.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And there's obviously a few pegs.
I was under the influence when I was fucking bumping the Stages Set and Murderous Metaphors, I was still a fan of their stuff for sure. That Got a Problem with Balance. Like, man, we used to listen to that shit on repeat. Yeah, that turned us into some little hood rats.
Now, when I look from what I know in Australian hip-hop, which is not everything, but it's a fair chunk, I caught on early 2000s.
Yeah.
And then I went backwards maybe another 3 years to like Prowler's early shit.
Yeah.
When I look at the whole thing and I ask the question, the three most influential acts, the ones that come to mind for me are Lyrical Commission,
Yeah.
Hilltop Hoods, and Kerser.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? What
I
are
was
your
never
thoughts?
lucky enough to see LC live, but
Me neither.
as listening to them on CD and whatnot, like they were the first ones that I listened to, and I was like, man, these guys are spitting, like technical, like they were, it's undeniable to say, like TBW, especially Sever, he froths over LC. Like if you want to learn multis and shit like that and just raw lyricism, check out LC if you don't know, for the new kids on the block. But yeah, Stages Set, man, that was probably my favorite from them. And the production and like just that head nod shit, like it was like almost very different, but it was like the Clandestine over that side, because Clandestine were very raw and yeah, shout outs to Mortar as well. That dude's OG back home.
Yeah, man. They're
OG
legends
everywhere,
in
any
Perth, man.
yeah. But yeah, so
So my question to you is, do you think that those three artists groups, so Lyrical Commission, the Hoods, and Kerser,
yeah,
do you think that they are debatably the three most influential groups of their time? I think LC early 2000s,
yeah,
Hoods that mid 2000s,
yeah,
and then Kerser just
Yeah,
popped it off
I
around
can definitely agree with that.
2010.
For sure, as an overall influence, for sure.
Because I feel like in the LC time, a lot of dudes were trying to do what LC were doing once
Yeah.
Stages Set dropped.
Yeah,
Then
even my
when-
brother.
There you go.
Yeah,
And then when Hoods dropped the Calling, that
Yeah.
kind of
for sure,
changed direction.
and that Monopoly joint by Strut, what the like that was
Dude,
another one.
that's the best diss joint in Australian
Yeah,
rap
yeah.
history.
I remember
reckon.
bumping that ages ago. Like, you want to? If people are like, oh, Aussies can't rap, I was like, show me someone spitting like this, and you are, like I said, you're a hater if you deny skill. Even if I don't like someone, I'll never deny the
Yeah.
skill. Otherwise, yeah, I just been, poxy about it. But and yeah, on the Kerser thing, like anyone that's been to one of his shows, the atmosphere is unreal. Like I've been lucky enough to do every single Perth show as supports, and he's even taken me in complete around a few times back in the day doing his whole national run, and like especially back then, like No Rest for the Sickers and stuff. He just come out, it was the biggest thing, and we got to do these sold out shows with like the most popping artists in the country. It was like, yeah, it was a crazy experience. A lot of full on stories that I won't go into. Shout outs to JUF.
The lesson.
Oh yeah.